Travel along, Catholic pilgrims, as we learn from St. Augustine, Doctor of the Church, while we read his book, Confessions. Fellow pilgrims, welcome. Today we are reading from Book 2, Chapter 8, so let's go ahead and open to page 51 and begin. It brought me no happiness. For what harvest did I reap from acts which now make me blush, particularly from the act of theft? I loved nothing in it except the thieving, though I cannot truly speak of that as a thing that I could love, and I was only the more miserable because of it. And yet, as I recall my feelings at the time, I am quite sure that I would not have done it on my own. Was it then that I also enjoyed the company of those with whom I committed the crime? If this is so, there was something else I loved besides the act of theft. But I cannot call it something else, because companionship, like theft, is not a thing at all. No one can tell me the truth of it except my God, who enlightens my mind and dispels its shadows. What conclusion am I trying to reach from these questions and this discussion? It is true that if the pears which I stole had been to my taste, and if I had wanted to get them for myself, I might have committed the crime on my own if I had needed to do no more than that to win myself the pleasure. I should have had no need to kindle my glowing desire by rubbing shoulders with a gang of accomplices. But as it was not the fruit that gave me pleasure, I must have got it from the crime itself, from the thrill of having partners in sin. A few quotes that fit today's reading. Tell me who your friends are, and I will tell you who you are. You are the company you keep. Do not be deceived. Bad company corrupts good character. 1 Corinthians 15:33. Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools suffers harm. Proverbs 13:20. Now, as I've navigated through the many stages of parenthood, I've had to navigate helping my children pick good friends. I've also witnessed many parents neglect to teach their children how to pick good friends. Too many parents just want their kids to have friends, no matter who they are, so that they will be saved from the horror of, quote-unquote, being socially awkward. But we shouldn't just want our kids to be friends with anybody just to have friends. Two things related to this that I have observed since being a parent and also looking back on when I was growing up are that 1, too few parents guide their kids on what to look for in someone to date, and 2, too few parents guide their kids on what to look for in someone to befriend. Now, consequently, this leads young people to just date whoever gives them the time of day or who they are purely attracted to, and it also leads them to pick friends that just like the same stuff. We see here with St. Augustine that he recognizes that left to his own choices, he probably wouldn't have stolen things. He mostly did it because of the company he kept, and it sounds like they just kind of fed off of each other. He says, quote, "But as it was not the fruit that gave me pleasure, I must have got it from the crime itself, from the thrill of having partners in sin," unquote. I had too many friends growing up that asked me to sin or encouraged me to sin. Sometimes I said no, but not always. I was more worried about how I would look to them, and I didn't want to be seen as a downer. But just think about how rare it is that a friend or even a dating partner calls you to be virtuous. It really is a very rare thing. But we have to teach kids, and we have to start teaching them from a young age to look for virtuous friends. Now, people aren't going to be perfect, but they should be more virtuous than not. And to also teach kids to encourage virtue in their friends. And one of the most important things to teach them is that a friend that leads you into sin or encourages it in you is no true friend at all. So we will pause here for today, Catholic Pilgrims. Meet me back here tomorrow, and until then, live the faith boldly and travel well.